haven't fielded any calls from the New York Jets to be their quarterback yet, have you?
I didn't even get to see it, but it ain't been good, has it? I'm guessing.
So when you watch Illinois defense, I mean, is that what you see on the field in practice? All the time
Very similar for sure. And so, that's what I've tried to tell our guys early this week, and hopefully moving forward, like, we should have a ton of confidence. No one's, besides maybe their offense, has seen or practiced against what we're going, something similar to what we'll see on Saturday than we have, you know what I mean? And so we've seen it over and over and over. We've got a lot of reps playing against a very similar defense, and I'm sure they'll have a couple different things, I would imagine, just to try to give us a different look or create a negative play. But like I said, as far as just an overall scheme goes, like, we've seen something very similar to what we'll see on Saturday ever since we've been here, and so we have a lot of reps logged, and we should have a lot of confidence going against it, and we got to go execute. That's the key for us. I mean, it really doesn't matter what we're playing against. We got to do our job at a higher level consistently. You know what I mean? And there's been streaks of it looking good, but we got to consistently do our job at a much higher level. And if we do, regardless of the defense, we'll give ourselves a chance to be successful. And if we don't, it'll be inconsistent and up and down. And we got to consistently, like I said, play at a high level.
You've had the chance to review the film from Wisconsin. What did you think about the run game, especially in that second half?
I thought we ran the ball well, from what I remember. I think that, like I said since I've been here, we got some backs that are good with the football in their hand. Got to give him touches. Hudson can do some things with his feet too. Try to keep people honest, and especially the third quarter, from what I can remember, like, we were running the ball at a really high level, and we're gonna continue to do that. And when we get the opportunity, that's the thing about kind of what we said since we've been here is like we got to give our playmakers the ball and create space for them, but also be able to be versatile enough to run the ball when we need to run the ball, throw the ball when we need to throw the ball. I think we've done a pretty good job of doing that at times. They came out and played their 3 down front, and we knew when they did that we'd have air and have an opportunity to run the football. And our guys did, like I said. I thought they executed well. The crazy thing is, the other day we had a lot of explosive plays, or what we call explosive. I think over 12-yard runs or over 16-yard passes. I think we had like 13. And usually when you have that many explosive plays, you score a lot more points. And so it still comes down to, like, being consistent and eliminating the negative plays. But like I said, at times we were running football really well, and I don't know what we ended up averaging, but I know for a while we were averaging quite a few yards a carry. That's really, like I said, that's a big deal for us. We got to continue when we call runs to be good at it. And then if people try to take that away, we got to be able to consistently throw the football as well. And so, I think we have the personnel to do that. We just got to, like I said earlier, be consistent with it. And if we do, like, we can do some special things.
How valuable is it for this offense to get an all-conference caliber center back who's a captain of this team and has been sitting out for quite a while?
Oh, if Gus is in there, it makes I think everybody's job a lot easier, just because he's so smart. He's seen so much, and he's a really, really good player, And so there's not a whole lot that can trick him. He's played a whole lot of football. What he does is he gets everyone on the same page up front, and that's half the battle, and he does that. I think he creates confidence for the guys around him because they know he's going to put them in a position to be successful. And so with a guy like Gus, he makes us a heck of a lot better, and he played at a high level, especially considering he's been off for been battling an injury and rehabbing for so long, and doesn't have the same number of reps in the last 9 months that probably most people do. And to have that, he came back. I thought he battled really, really hard. Competes. He loves the game. He plays it the right way. And like I said, he's a really good football player. So having him makes us a lot better.
You've talked a lot about Hudson's ability with his legs, and I feel like on Friday we finally got to see it on display. Just what does that add to the offense?
Well, it makes it a whole lot better. I think that if there's a threat in the run game, if him carrying the ball, defenses have to respect that. And then also, where I think he can be really special is just creating when things aren't there, even in the pass game. I think the touchdown, or the past 2 weeks, he scored 2 touchdowns on that. Something's not there. They drop a bunch of people out. He runs around. He creates. And that's just hard to account for as a defense, I know. You know what I mean? And so him, I think the more he does it, the more he plays, the further into the further and further the season goes, the more and more comfortable he gets. You'll see more and more of that. That's something I've talked to him a lot about is like, you got the ability to be the best player on the football field, just go do it. You know what I mean? And if something's not there, don't force it. Like, go create now. You know what I mean? Because you're talented enough to do that. You can do that, and I think you're starting to see some of that. And so that you can't coach that. You know what I mean? His ability to be good with the football in his hands, running the ball, it's hard to account for on the other side of the ball. And so, like I said, it makes us a heck of a lot better, and it makes you coaching a whole lot easier, because even if they take something away that you expected to be there, it's not necessarily a dead play. He can go create and create something positive out of it.
They made those new first down rules this year. How cognizant of that were you going into the season, and then has it been what you expected it to be?
The clock rules?
Yeah, the first down clock.
Yeah, I think obviously going into the season, knew a lot about it. I don't know what the stats are. I'd be interested to know that as far as like plays and stuff like that.
Yeah, it hasn't been much.
It hasn't been much.
No, it's been one.
So I guess it hasn't changed a ton. Probably just added commercials that make more money. So I don't know. So like I said, we knew about it. We thought about it. I thought it might take a bunch of plays away, but it hasn't seemed to do too much of that. And so we just got to continue to go play. And it's still at the end of the halves, because that's to me where the biggest thing is like towards the end of the halves, when you're in a 2-minute situation. The biggest difference between the NFL game and the college game is that clock stopping on first downs or not stopping on first downs in the NFL game. And so with it stopping once you get in the 2-minute drill, it doesn't change a ton for us just from normal down and distance playing football, in regular situations. In the 2-minute, we still get the clock to stop on those first downs, and that's, like I said, for an offense, the biggest. It's an advantage, but the biggest time you're worried about it.
Seems like you implemented Tyrone more in the run game last week. Is that just a feel? How are you going to split carries between him and Mockbee and Dillon?
I think that all those guys get carries. I think that, Tyrone's been doing some really, really special things, and he kind of had a hot hand, and when you have a hot hand, you got to keep riding it. You know what I mean? But no, he's good with the ball in his hands. He's a good football player, Tyrone. All those guys are good football players, but I think if you look at the season as a whole, he may be the most consistent and explosive guy we've had on the team. Even in special teams, and not just like the kick return, but even on the kickoff, he's flying down there making tackles. So he's been a really, really consistent player. He prepares the right way. He practices the right way. He does everything the right way, and then he goes out there and it shows up on Saturdays. And so it hasn't been a surprise, I think, to any of us as a staff that Tyrone's been really good, because he's prepared to be really good. But I think he's been super consistent in preparation, and he's been super consistent in all aspects of the game. He's missed, other than probably a couple missed blitzes that, they brought a corner the other night from a 2-receiver side that we hadn't really seen, and he didn't see it. Now Huddy was able to make us right and avoid the sack. But other than that, like, he's just done his job at a high level, and he's been explosive, like I said, on the offense side of the ball, in the return game, and in kickoff. And so, like I said, he's a guy that just we got to keep using. And Mockbee too. Mockabee's best run of the day got called back today for the holding. That was a heck of a run he had. He did some good things with the ball in his hands, and then Dillon had a couple good runs as well. So those are all three guys that'll continue to get carries. Like I said, Tracy, super proud of the way he's played so far, and we got to keep building on that.